everyone, it's Kristine Vicente with Queen City Stamp Art, and I'm back today with day number 6 of the 12 Days of Christmas card series at Queen City Stamp Art. And today I'm going to be showing a card that uses the Tidings and Trimmings bundle. I love this bundle. This can be found in the annual catalog, and this was one of the first things I ordered when the catalog went live this past summer. I love making Christmas cards, so this was a natural one for me to be gravitated toward. I just think it's so cute and pretty, and I've had a lot of fun making cards with this one this season. So today I'm going to show you a fairly easy card that uses kind of minimal supplies, and we're going to get busy on that right now. So we're going to be using Evening Evergreen and Cherry Cobbler because the paper that I'm using in this card is from the Tidings of Christmas 6x6 Designer Series paper. So we're going to be using a little piece of that. And we're going to be using the Stitch So Sweetly dies, one of the scalloped rectangles. And I'm just going to glue these little pieces together. So I cut a little insert for inside the rectangle here. And I'm using this pretty neutral side in Soft Succulent because that coordinates beautifully with the Evening Evergreen. The Evening Evergreen is our base card for this card. So I'm just going to fold that in half. And then we're going to put a layer panel on the inside just because it's so dark. It'll make it easier to see the sentiment when I stamp that. Alrighty, and then we're going to add this piece to the front. So I'm going to take some tape runner, some additional tape runner, and just attach this to the front of the card in this bottom right corner, just like this. And then we're going to do a little stamping. So I'm going to set this aside and pull out my ink. So we're going to start with some Cherry Cobbler, and we're going to stamp the star from that stamp set, which is beautiful. It's got that little leafy pattern on the inside. And then we're going to use the Evening Evergreen stamp pad and the little tiny Season's Greetings sentiment, and stamp this little sentiment strip. Just like that, it's perfect. And then we're going to use one of the dies from the die set to cut the star out. So I'm just going to line this up. I put a little piece of micropore tape. It's like this first aid tape that you can find at the pharmacy, and I put that on the top of my die here just to hold it in place so it doesn't shift too much when it goes through the die cutting machine. And then we're just going to bring this in, and I'm just going to lay this down here and add that extra plate, and I'm going to run it through the machine. Just like that. And then we get this really cute little star. It's already die cut out, so that's nice. Now we'll pull our project back in and finish up the card. So please keep in mind that I do have a special host code during the series that's pictured here. It'll also be in the video, in the description of the video. And I'm going to be putting together little Happy Mail packets to go to any customers who place an order using this code during the series. So I just wanted to remind you of that, since you've probably been seeing this in each of the videos and might not know what that's all about. So for this, we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back. I think I'm just going to use some liquid adhesive for these because they're so small. And I'm just going to dot some adhesive on in just different areas. And then I'm going to pick this up. And I think I'm actually going to use my scissors and trim the stem off a little bit. This is one of the dies that's in the set here. And I love when die sets come with images that you can use without a stamp set, because although many of the dies in this bundle do coordinate with the stamp set, there are a few like these little leafy sprig things that can use on their own, and they're so pretty. So I'm just gonna kind of squish those down, and then we're gonna use some dimensional adhesive to pop this layer up. this little star. So I'll use a couple of dimensionals on here. And we're going to pop up the star, and I'm just going to kind of put this off to the side a little bit, like that. And then we'll use tape adhesive to glue this down, but I'm going to cut this up at an angle like that. And then add this, a little bit too long. Add this to the card front, like that. And then to embellish this one, we're just going to keep it kind of simple. We're going to use some of these metallic pearls in silver. So I have my tweezers here, and I'm just going to add a couple of these. Oops. I'm going to add one here and here, and I'll add one to the sentiment right here, just like that. And that's the card for today. So if you wanted to jazz this up a little bit, you could certainly use some gold foil in the sprigs, or as a frame around the designer series paper. You could do another layer on here and maybe dry emboss it with an embossing folder to give it some texture. You could add some thread, some like silver or gold thread underneath the star to bump it up a little bit. So lots of fun ideas. It's just kind of, this is a great little base card, but there's a lot that you can do to add to it and dress it up, certainly if you didn't appreciate the clean and simple scheme we have going here. Okay, so anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with day 7.